After reading the lore entry from week 1 of Season of the Witch, something felt alarming. Saint and Osiris discussed reviving Savathun and their thoughts on the topic. In the midst of conversation, they are working on Mithrax's splicer gauntlet, which has been giving him issues. It may not seem like much at first, but other cards this season hint at Mithrax's future. And tying that with the lore from last year and Mithrax's past, will the Kell of the House of Light finally become a light bearer? Let's analyze what we have. We first begin with the quote about Mithrax's gauntlet from this season in the entry titled Process from the Rites of Passage lorebook. Saint 14 and Osiris sat across from each other at the rough wooden table, focused on the array of wires, struts, and braces spread out before them. Mithrax had mentioned that his splicer gauntlet had been causing his arm to go numb, and Saint's overeager offer of assistance had turned into an evening of frustratingly meticulous tinkering. Mithrax had politely excused himself hours ago, but Saint and Osiris were so focused on their discussion of Savathun's bargain they hardly noticed. So Saint and Osiris are working on his splicer gauntlet, trying to fix it up a bit. It's making Mithrax's arm go numb. Is this from Vex technology like Ashermir's arm was changed? We know the splicer gauntlet channels light and deals with different frequencies and Vex tech, so it makes me wonder why all of a sudden does Mithrax feel this pain? It hasn't happened before. We don't know if this means anything bad for Mithrax. Maybe this is just a little glitch with the gauntlet, they fix it and everything will be fine. But let's take a look at some recent events in the past that could hint at a downfall before a possible rise. During Season of Plunder, Mithrax took part in Osiris's revival of sorts, using the relics of Nezarec to create a darkness tea that Osiris could drink. Ido told us this was dangerous.
Now that we've collected all the relics, Mithrax, Kell, and I believe that we could harness their power. To what end, we're still uncertain. While I believe in our abilities, I am concerned about the potential side effects such a process could have. An ancient dirge I discovered described something called the Curse of Nezarec, which is rumored to drain the life of the user. Of course, I don't give credence to such superstition. Dark Age humans were comically ignorant. Still, I would rather not take the risk. My father disagrees. I suspect he wishes to redeem himself for his past wrongs.
The Mithrax could take time to study the secrets of the reliquaries. He said they were connected by threads he alone could perceive, and that they whispered to him. He performed a conversion. He claimed from them a mass of primal darkness. He distilled it, transformed its terrifying energy into a more agreeable state.
So was this dangerous for Osiris or Mithrax? Maybe both. These relics drain the life of the user. Not sure if the relics would have this power of numbing his arm, either that or it's a Vex influence. Vex radiolaria infects and consumes, as we saw with Ashermir. The same thing could be happening to Mithrax, but again, why?
Well done, Guardian. I do not wish to quell this victory, but we must not linger here. Ever since we dispelled the Endless Night, I feel an unease near the Vex domains.
Uh-oh. The Vex put a target on your back?
I'm afraid so. Splicers are no longer welcome here.
Well, a hero's only as strong as his enemies. That makes you a certified superstar.
And with the connection these two had back in the Avalon mission, Asher and Mithrax, maybe this was just the beginning. Maybe Asher will help Mithrax ascend like he has in future content. That's just speculation though.
An entity consumed by radiolaria would find themselves converted into raw resources. Their cells would be rewritten by the Vex. But not even that fate would explain Ashermir's ability to exist within the network itself.
The Vex are also apparently hunting Mithrax. So that's not all the evidence we have. This season has introduced the Deck of Whispers and its cards. Each card represents something different. Some are called sisters like the Hive, Harbinger, and so on. One card is called Ascension though, and guess who pulls that card? Mithrax. In the Ex-Dearest lore card, Eris is pulling some of these cards from the deck, sort of laying them out and talking about what some of them mean. 3 cards above the rest, one beside the other. Liminal, Ascension, Lacuna. All aspects of the Guardian's light. She had not held it for centuries. The Hive Sisters below beckon more loudly than the light did. So Eris was pulling these cards, but they represent Guardians and the light. Lacuna, Liminal, and Ascension, which Mithrax pulls. At Kell, Mithrax called out to the Athenaeum. He had come looking for the Warlock Vanguard on city business, but having found the space empty, he paused his search to scrutinize her latest operation. Mithrax had strong objections to Eris's use of Hive magic, but knew the Vanguard was not his house to command. He perused the esoteric artifacts littering the space with mild distaste. They reminded him too much of the relics of Nezarec, which had plagued his youth. As his gaze came to rest on the Deck of Whispers, he felt a familiar numbness spread throughout his chest. Though the sensation had become more prevalent in recent months, he told no one. As the Kell picked up the deck with his upper right hand, he felt his splicer gauntlet pulse with energy. The cards were clearly imbued with a power beyond his experience. With his lower left hand, he delicately withdrew a card and placed it face up on the table. Ascension. Mithrax pondered the omen gravely. It reminded him of all the tribulations his house had suffered in coming to the last city. Their ascension had been a violent and sorrowful one, filled with detractors. Yet the peace and security they found among the humans had justified their risks. Now it was Eris who was walking into the sanctum of her mortal enemy to save her people. Mithrax shook his head in self-rebuke. Perhaps he'd been too rigid in his opinions regarding Eris Morn's mission. He owed her the same grace that the Vanguard had extended to him. He slid the card back into the middle of the deck and felt the numbness in his chest recede once again. Mithrax has always followed the Traveler in light since he turned away from his pirate thief ways. May the Traveler now actually choose him? We have hints at some pain from the Splicer Gauntlet and maybe Vex. Then we have some type of ascension, possibly to something higher than he currently is, maybe a light bearer, maybe ascension thanks to the Vex like Asher. Who knows? Mithrax did appear in the final shape reveal trailer when Ikora spoke to Cade about everything he's missed. Not sure if he's going to be a big part of the expansion itself, but I hope so. I hope all the characters are there fighting in the end to stop the Witness. That was just a CG reveal trailer though. If Mithrax ascends either in a Vex way or Lightbearer way, how will it happen? Savathun told us in her Two Truths, Two Lies that the Hive are not the last to be chosen by the light. That could be false, of course, but maybe it was a hint. Could someone from the Elixni be chosen like Mithrax? This is kind of a big story beat, so not sure if it would happen in our last season or the final shape given the main focus is on ending the Witness, but maybe in future episodes we'll see next year. But that's all we have currently at the beginning of this season. Something fishy is going on with Mithrax's Splicer Gauntlet, making his arm feel numb. Do you think this is a simple malfunction with his gauntlet itself, or is there more meaning to it? If you'd like to see some more Destiny lore and mysteries just like this video, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. Anyway, I thank you very much for watching and I'll catch you all in the next video.